Now to extra depth and extra perspective. During his campaign for mayor, Renard Johnson constantly reiterated his commitment to economic development here in El Paso and bringing more high-profile jobs and industry right here to the borderland. And he continues on that mission now as mayor. Here's more from a sit-down interview we had with Mayor Johnson before his term started.
What I will do as a mayor is I will lean on my relationships to bring in economic development for this community. So I will focus on healthcare and bring in healthcare jobs to this region. I am a board member of the Hospitals of Providence, so I've been around healthcare for over 15 years, so I know what it takes to recruit doctors and healthcare professionals to this industry. El Paso is often forgotten in the state and in the nation. We've got to make sure that we go out and get our opportunities, and there's a tremendous amount of opportunities that do want to come to El Paso.
And Renard Johnson has certainly kept busy since starting his job as mayor of El Paso earlier this year. But even before his term began, he's always been an ambassador of sorts to El Paso through his community involvement and being one of the go-to borderlanders to promote our city and bring in companies, investors, and others who hope to make El Paso home. He's won many people over by taking visitors on tours to show off all of the exciting places and people we have in our amazing city of El Paso. And I had the extreme honor of also being taken on one of those tours in a story you'll only see on AVC7. Here is Mayor Johnson's Main Street mission.
What I like to do when someone's coming is I say, let me take you around and show you the beauty of El Paso. I don't have to sell anything. And once you see what we have to offer, what's not to like?
Exactly. Mayor Renard Johnson incorporates El Paso's uniqueness to its visitors, as he did with Nico Tejeda, one of 3 regional tenant executives in the U.S., who said Renard Johnson's tour a decade ago helped convince him to move to El Paso from California and take a job as the CEO for the Hospitals of Providence East Campus.
I get off the airplane and I see this airport that's modern. It's been invested in. That struck a chord with me. Drive down a highway that looks modern, and I end up downtown, took a wrong turn, and I end up at this ballpark that someone invested in. That all made an impression on me. Then I went to this restaurant called Anson 11 that someone had invested in, and there I met Renard Johnson. And he put his arm around me and said, let's go down the street. We went to Cafe Central. He's saying hello to everybody. Everybody knows Renard, and it gives this sense of community. So immediately, within 2 hours, I see this investment, I see this bustling activity, and I see this authenticity to a community.
Nico had young kids, and I knew that he wanted to know what the school systems were like here. And it's by showing him the university, showing him the assets we have here, that I could get him excited about living in El Paso.
And I went back and I called my wife and I said, I think you need to come out here. This place could work for us.
Mayor Renard Johnson started our tour at the beautiful University of Texas at El Paso campus, a place he takes great pride in, and one of the main reasons he showcases UTEP to out-of-town guests.
I'm a graduate of UTEP, and I like to take visitors here and show them the campus and show them what our university looks like, because most people don't understand what the Sun Bowl looks like and how it's built in the mountains, and I just love to show it off.
Mayor Johnson also shares some of his experiences during his college years with all of his visitors.
While I was attending UTEP, I was also a disc jockey. No. And in this building here is where KTEP, the radio station, was. I spent a lot of time in that building as a disc jockey.
And Mayor Johnson loves to point out local trivia, like this tribute to a former UTEP president.
Dr. Natalicio delivered a speech, and it's in binary code along the pickaxe here. They recoded her speech along the bottom of the pickaxe that you can see there. The ones and zeros.
Making our way into the heart of El Paso, Mayor Johnson quickly props up the revitalization of downtown.
You look at our plaza park, which is beautiful. We have the Mexican-American Cultural Center, and then we have La Nube. That is by far the best children's museum in the country. We have so much to offer. It's just a function of us telling our story.
And this part of Texas is definitely known for its Mexican food.
There's going to be no question I'm going to go to Carlos and Mickey's. And then we're going to go to L&J's. We're going to go to all the... There's so many, I don't want to leave anyone out because there's so many fine Mexican food places here that I like to go to.
Mayor Johnson loves to take El Paso visitors on a short cruise up the Franklin Mountains to Scenic Drive.
You're looking into 2 different countries, 3 different states, and you can't do that anywhere else but El Paso. And again, it took us minutes to get here. This is where I will come, and if I'm bringing someone to showcase the city, you just take it in. This is a picture painting here. This is absolutely gorgeous. And when they see it, they fall in love with El Paso. When I brought Nico here, and I brought many visitors here, they look and they say, wow, this is incredible.
I've never had a governing board chair, or anyone for that matter, when I go to community, say, hey, come get in my car, just you and me, and let's drive around all parts of the community. And I often cite that story because it's an example of a person who was invested in the community and now has become a key leader, the key leader in the community.
Mayor Johnson also talked about how important it was to continue to make El Paso an attraction for visitors and residents alike, including the proposed deck project over Interstate 10 becoming a reality.
We have an opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity, to cover the top, to connect South El Paso with Uptown or Midtown. If we can find the funding, and this doesn't fall on the back, 100% on the back of the taxpayers, then it's something we need to look at as El Pasoans.
Mayor Johnson's whirlwind tour goes full circle, and we end up back at UTEP.
This is where it began. You know, this is where I learned to be who I am. It certainly helped with my business. It helped with making me the person that I am. So I owe so much to UTEP and El Paso.
A gratification for a university that goes beyond the art, that actually has Renard Johnson's name on it.
There it is, baby. Love it.
Yeah. Hi, Renard. How you guys doing?
Shayna, nice to meet you.
Shayna, hi guys.
Mayor Johnson's energy and delight can also be seen as he gathers with UTEP students and myself and proudly chants,
It's up and go Miners! Thank you guys. Yeah, nice meeting you too. We'll see you at the games. All right.
see you at the games. All right, is that a tailgate invite? Maybe, I don't know. Let's do this. Go UTEP. As mentioned, Renard Johnson is a proud UTEP alum, like many others in our region. And don't forget, you can watch the extended version of my ride-along and walking tour with Mayor Johnson on the KVIA ABC7 CTV app. Also, we have the extended version on KVIA.com.
Like you just mentioned, there's so much that the viewers didn't see right now, but also that time that you had with our mayor. Talk to us about that. What's something that you want viewers to know about him that maybe we didn't see in that piece?
Well, I think people do know this, but I mean, he's just a regular Joe Schmo like you and I. I mean, he's a good guy. He's an El Paso native. He went to UTEP. He grew up here, just like many of the past mayors as well. So he obviously cares about this city. He cares about the borderland, and he gets it. Because there's people out here that just don't get it sometimes, that we are a two-nation destination in many cases with El Paso and Juarez, and he's able to truly be an ambassador. And he's been doing this since before he was a mayor. But obviously, you know, if he wants to keep his campaign promises of bringing more industry here, he'll continue to do those tours. And I'm sold. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I love the piece. Good job, Paul.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Moving along.